I had the most absurd, insane fucking complaint from a customer. And if there's any story time that you guys want to sit down and watch of mine, this is going to be the one. Because at no point did I know what was going to happen. And at no point, I promise you, at no point will you know where the story is going to go. So I'm standing at the cash register and this lady walks in. Immediately, I'm like, wow, this woman she's such a fucking vibe. Okay, she's got to be like in her late 40s. She's got this gorgeous, like feathered blown out, blondish, like brunette hair. It's like balayage, so it's like dark at the top, you know, light at the bottom. She's got these like cute flare pants on, these boots, this cute little like belt with like fringe on it. And I'm like, okay, queen. And she looks visibly in distress. She's like, you know, walking in. So I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? She comes up and she leans over the counter so close to me. I can smell her perfume. She's so fucking close to me. And I'm gonna be honest, it was a little bit too floral for me, but that's neither here nor there. She's like, are you the manager? I need to talk to someone. So I'm like, yes, I am the manager on duty. Like, I'm not the store manager, but I am somebody who can help you. And she's like, I had the worst experience earlier. I just need to talk to somebody about what I went through at this other store. And I'm like, oh, at another store? What store was it? Because we get a lot of complaints about some other certain locations and like their customer service. So somebody complaining about getting bad customer service at another location doesn't really shock me. And she names a store that like we never get complaints about. So I'm like, oh my God, what happened? She tells me like, every time I go to this location, their coffee is cold. Every time I go, their coffee is cold. And if it's not cold, it's lukewarm. Like, it's never piping hot. And I'm like, okay. She says, you know, I go in today with my mom and we get this coffee. And again, it's not hot. It's cold coffee. So she goes up and she asks them like, can I get some new coffee? I want you guys to brew a fresh batch. The second she asked them to brew a fresh batch. I'm like, okay, well, I can kind of already guess where this is going. I'm guessing they said no. She's like, and every time I ask them to brew me a fresh batch, they say no. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, of course. I too would say no if somebody asked me to brew a fresh batch of coffee. We keep our coffee for an hour. So if there's still coffee in there, I'm not brewing you a fresh batch. Like, I'm just not doing it. But I'm not here to give her advice or to tell her any of that. So I'm just listening. She says, yeah, and they told me there's 45 minutes still on the timer, so they weren't gonna rebrew it for me. You guys keep coffee for an hour? Like, it used to be 30 minutes. And I pause her and I'm like, hey, you know, I will say, we did change some things and it is standard to keep coffee for an hour, not 30 minutes. So that barista wasn't lying to you. She said, no, it's not that. It's not that you guys keep it for an hour and that's changed. I know what the problem is. And I said, what's the problem? And she said, I'm white. I think I've misheard her. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what was that? She's like, it's because I'm white. What? Actually, what are you saying right now? She said, it's because of Karen culture. The Karen culture has invaded the coffee industry and you cannot complain to anyone because they just assume you're a Karen, especially when you're white. It is so hard to be white and to complain nowadays. And it gets better. And she said, and the guy ringing me up was Mexican. And I said, oh, I'm really sorry that you had cold coffee, ma'am. I could just get you a new cup of coffee. And she said, I don't want a cup of coffee. I don't want a cup of coffee right now. And I said, okay. And she was like, I don't even want to talk to anybody that works there because you guys all cover for each other. So I'm just gonna call corporate. Give me corporate's number. So I gave her corporate's number. And then she hits me with, I'm not one to do this, but what are you gonna do for me? And I'm like, well, I just offered you a coffee. Like, I literally just offered to re-give you like a freshly hot coffee, but you don't want coffee. And she said, can I get a drink for another day? Can I get my money back? I don't normally do this, but what are you gonna do for me? Y'all, I'm still in shock about this complaint to this very day. Like, I can't even believe this really happened.